Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in again. This is Anyman reminding you that you have the power. To help you learn how to use that power wisely and well, we're bringing you the Batman Handbook. It's called The Ultimate Training Manual by Scott Beatty. On the back cover it says, The Essential Skills of the Dark Knight Unmasked. From how to throw a batarang to how to make a bat suit, from how to win a whip fight to how to drive the Batmobile on 2 wheels. The Batman Handbook is the ultimate real-world training manual for the aspiring superhero. Here are illustrated step-by-step instructions on the vital information you'll need to emerge victorious against any criminal mastermind. How to bulletproof your Batmobile. How to train a sidekick. How to execute a bat flip. How to swing around a flagpole. How to take a kick to the head. How to extract a confession. How to survive a poison gas attack. And dozens of other crucial skills for the Caped Crusader in training. Scott Beatty is the author of several books and graphic novels, including Batman: The Ultimate Guide to the Dark Knight and the critically acclaimed Batman Year One. He lives in Pennsylvania. Batman trademark and copyright 2005 DC Comics. This is published by Quirk Books. A warning from the Batcave. Despite its appearances, this training manual is a well-produced work of fiction and should be enjoyed as such. It is a facsimile of an actual handbook that might have been designed to educate supporters and fans of Batman. Although it is a well-conceived work of fantasy, the author has provided the most accurate real-world information available to aspiring Caped Crusaders. However, attempting to exact vigilante-style justice is illegal, no matter what the situation. Even Batman himself, if he really existed, would be subject to prosecution, despite his close relationship with Commissioner Gordon. Moreover, when a life is in danger and a dangerous situation is at hand, a truly safe alternative may not exist. To deal with the situations presented in this training manual, the safest initial course of action in the real world is to contact the relevant authorities. The publishers, the author, and DC Comics hereby disclaim any liability from any injury that may result from the use, proper or improper, of the information contained in this book. We do not guarantee that this information is complete, safe, or wholly accurate, nor should it be considered a substitute for your good judgment and common sense. Finally, nothing in this book should be construed or interpreted as an excuse to infringe on the rights of other persons or to violate criminal statutes in Gotham City or elsewhere. We urge you to obey all laws and respect all rights, including the property rights of others, even the criminally insane. The Batman Handbook, The Ultimate Training Guide by Scott Beatty, foreword by Chuck Dixon, illustrations by David Hahn, Quirk Books, Philadelphia. Contents, foreword by Chuck Dixon, page 7. Introduction, page 9. Chapter 1, The Basics. How to become a crime fighter. How to make a bat suit. How to assemble a utility belt. How to make a bat signal. How to bulletproof your Batmobile. How to train a sidekick. How to build a bat cave. How to maintain your alter ego. Chapter 2, Bat Skills. How to throw a batarang. How to throw a grappling hook. How to slide down the bat pole. How to make a quick costume change. How to see in the dark. How to drive the Batmobile on 2 wheels. How to jump a bridge in your Batmobile. How to execute a backflip. How to swing across a flagpole. Around a flagpole. How to rappel down a building. Chapter 3, Fighting Skills. Personal note, this is the area where I have the most, where I take the most issue with the book. There are a few inaccuracies herein, and you should really search out some quality instruction from legitimate fighting professionals if this is the route you want to take, or have to take. Anyway, how to win a whip fight, how to disarm a gunman, which I believe is done incorrectly in here, how to break a chokehold, shows 2 of many ways, how to take a kick to the head, how to win a sword fight, how to survive a shootout, how to take out a room full of goons, how to jump out of a tall building. There's also a section that talks about the different martial arts that Batman knows, in which Scott Beatty misappropriates judo to having been designed in Korea. It was actually in Japan. The rest of that information is somewhat accurate. Chapter 4, Detective Skills. How to search for clues. How to photograph a crime scene. How to determine the cause and time of death. How to collect blood samples. How to plant a homing device. How to extract a confession. How to talk down a gunman. Chapter 5, Escape Skills. How to win a coin toss. How to keep from freezing to death. How to withstand poison kisses. How to survive a poison gas attack. How to use a rebreather. How to slow your breathing. How to conquer phobias. How to withstand hypnosis. How to extinguish an inferno. How to cause a short circuit. How to break free of bindings, which I believe is incomplete, but given that this is for everyone from children on up, I wouldn't expect them to include a lock-picking section. How to blend into the shadows and slip away. Acknowledgements, page 190. About the Bat Crew, page 191. Forward. There's a reason that no one has ever written a how-to guide for Superman, the Flash, or Wonder Woman. Personal note, there is a Superman guide, and we will be reading from that next time. For most of us, heat vision, super strength, and web shooters are not available when we're backed into a tight spot. The vast majority of us puny humans have not been granted a magic wand or magic word or alien ring or superpower from another planet's sun with which to bust ourselves out of life-threatening situations. That's why this book is for you. This book is about the comic book hero that all of us can be. Bruce Wayne started out as an ordinary man, just like you and me. He vowed to fight crime and hunt down the kind of criminal scum that left his mom and dad dying in the filth of Crime Alley. Survival tip number 1, stay out of places with names like Crime Alley. But you have to know that little Bruce was making a promise to himself that he wasn't going to be pushed around anymore. He wasn't going to let things just happen to him ever again. So Bruce set out on the path to become a crime-busting hero. The problem? There was to be no cosmic ray bath or flash of lightning or convenient chemical spill in his future. How was he going to join the ranks of the other cape and boots guys? He couldn't even fly, for crying out loud. Well, Bruce didn't need all of that. He had the brains and the will, and most importantly the cash, to remake himself into a vengeful weapon of the night. He was self-made. He perfected himself. Let's face it, Superman could fight like a little girl and win most fights because he's so freaking strong. The Flash could run blindfolded and still win every race because he's fast. Wonder Woman is damn near invulnerable, so she doesn't exactly have to rely on form to come out on top. Batman has none of those edges. He's not fast or bulletproof or immortal. If he gets shot in the head, he dies. End of story, cancel the franchise. While Bruce was building his body into a fighting machine, he was also working to build his mind. He learned everything there was to know about detection, forensics, ballistics, and criminal psychology. He grounded himself in math and science, too. Remember when you were a little snot-nosed brat and you asked the teacher, "What are we going to use this for?" Bruce Wayne never said that. He wanted to know it all, because he knew he'd have to be ready with the right knowledge at any given moment. He knew his life would depend on knowing all the answers in his own personal game of who wants to continue living as a millionaire. Who needs a full understanding of thermodynamics to fight crime? If you're facing off with Mr. Freeze, you do. Botany? Horticulture? You'll need those, my friend, when poison ivy shows up on your doorstep. Why delve into ornithology? Because the penguin might buzz into town, that's why. Read this book and get a glimpse into the world of the Dark Knight. Let the master of escaping calamity after cataclysm after catastrophe show you how to elude the big dirt nap time after time. Get the information you'll need to have at your gloved fingertips to save the day, or at least to get your fanny out of the wringer. So the next time the chips are down and the water's rising and the giggling hyena with the machine gun is slapping in a fresh clip, go ahead and ask yourself, what would Batman do? If you have this book, you'll know. Otherwise, you're taking your chances. Unless you can get your mommy and daddy to pack you into a spaceship and shoot your ass to a planet where you can bend steel with your bare hands. Chuck Dixon, The Chuck Cave, PA. Introduction. Despite his fantastic abilities and state-of-the-art equipment, at his core Batman is human, and therefore everything he does is based in real-world skills. He didn't get his superpowers from the Earth's yellow sun, a chemical accident, or an irradiated insect. No, every skill the Caped Crusader has comes from the blood, sweat, and tears of a boy who watched his parents murdered before his very eyes in Crime Alley, the meanest of mean streets in a largely lawless Gotham City. The Dark Knight may be the paradigm of peak physical fitness, but his athletic prowess comes from years of dedication, more than a decade of apprenticeships Bruce Wayne entered into during a worldwide sojourn to forge himself into a living weapon. To become Batman, a concept Bruce Wayne wouldn't even begin to understand until he reached adulthood when an errant bat crashed through the window of his study. The adolescent Bruce went in search of teachers who would impart the knowledge he needed to become a costumed vigilante. Batman learned from experts in every discipline so that he could outthink and outfight any evildoer. And what is most compelling about this singular accomplishment is that anyone with a similar uncompromising will to do good can do the same. Granted, Batman has the deep pockets of his billionaire alter ego at his disposal to enable him to create high-tech equipment and facilities, a well-outfitted underground Batcave and a jet-propelled Batmobile, for example. But just as training yourself to become a hard-hitting hero can be accomplished by following the same path as the Dark Knight, such superheroic accoutrements are not out of the realm of possibility if you're empowered with the kinds of expertise Bruce gleaned in his decades abroad. Of course, having a book such as the one you're now holding can be just as important in transforming yourself from mild-mannered citizen to master crime fighter. Consider this text a how-to for heroes, a primer for demystifying the Dark Knight's world. Everything that Batman does from acrobatics to sleuthing is based on real-world approaches to combating crime. Thus, this handbook can serve as a step-by-step manual to replicate the Caped Crusader's feats. Basic skills, bat skills, fighting skills, detective skills, and escape skills, with procedures provided by real experts in each subject area. What you've seen in comic books isn't just graphic fiction. The training that made Bruce Wayne into Batman is based in reality, and the skills contained herein are completely authentic. Do you know how to perform a backflip? Are you capable of fighting off a room full of goons? How do you throw a batarang? You'll know after reading this handbook. Just as Bruce Wayne studied under the best teachers in every field, this handbook was assembled after consulting with retired FBI agents, detectives, forensic experts, stunt persons, gymnasts, martial artists, hypnotists, geologists, and a plethora of other professionals to allow you, the reader, to be just like Batman. With this knowledge, you have the potential to join the Dark Knight's crime-fighting crusade in the ranks of such trusted allies as Nightwing, Robin, and Batgirl. But be warned. The mantle of the Bat is a heavy burden and should not be assumed without a total and unwavering devotion to the cause of justice. If you're willing to accept this responsibility, turn the page. Your cape and cowl await. Chapter 1. The Basics. How to become a crime fighter. Crime fighting isn't a career one chooses lightly. In a different world, Bruce Wayne might have become a doctor and philanthropist like his father, Dr. Thomas Wayne. But while walking home from the movies with his parents one night down Gotham City's Crime Alley, 8-year-old Bruce watched in horror as a mugger shot dead Thomas and his loving wife Martha for little more than a wallet and a string of pearls. As the gunman fled into the night, Bruce knelt beside the bodies of his mother and father and vowed to avenge their deaths. 13 years later, he would become Batman, Gotham City's self-appointed defender of justice. The lives of superheroes like the Dark Knight are forged in the crucible of tragedy. If you choose to embark on the path to superheroics, tread with caution. The days and nights of those in capes and cowls are never easy, and crossing over from civilian to costumed crime fighter involves much more than simply a will to battle evildoers. Step 1. Make a solemn pledge to uphold the law. Your oath will be the single defining reason you take up training to become a crime fighter. Let this mantra remind you of the gravity of your decision. At the graves of Thomas and Martha Wayne, Bruce Wayne vowed to wage an unceasing war on criminals, so that no other innocent would suffer the pain he felt on losing his parents. Step 2. Learn everything you can in every discipline, no matter how obscure. Bruce spent more than a decade wandering the world, studying at nearly every major institution across the globe and gleaning the knowledge he needed to solve any crime. Essential subjects include forensics, criminology, law, forensic accounting, chemistry, physics, geology, history, especially the local background of your protectorate, computer science, and foreign languages, especially Arabic, Mandarin Chinese, Russian, and Spanish. Beyond the classroom, you should spend time with the men and women who fight criminals on a daily basis. Learn tracking skills from bounty hunters or private eyes. Detectives can teach you the procedural nature of police work. Cops may chase down crooks, but corrections officers know how to keep them locked up. Books can teach you the theories, but real people will show you how to put those ideas to the test. Step 3. Train your body. In addition to mastering many disciplines, your training should include running, swimming, and other exercises to build up endurance and stamina, along with weightlifting to increase your strength. Yoga or Pilates can improve cardiovascular conditioning, invaluable when you need to escape in a hurry, and also provide a meditative, non-violent outlet for any frustrations you encounter while fighting crime. For aerial acrobatics, practice gymnastics and mountain climbing. Base jumping and rappelling skills will prepare you to swoop down on criminals. Work on your hand-to-eye coordination as well, so that you hit the target every single time, whether it's with your fist or with a batarang. Step 4. Train your instincts. Knowing how to counter an attack or track and identify incriminating clues is all well and good, but to survive you'll need to make your physical skills and practical knowledge instinctual. You'll need to act and react to cues without slowing down or stopping to ponder. Constantly practicing and applying your physical and mental skills will enable you to go from thought to deed faster than any criminal you meet on the main streets. For further bat reading, 10 books every crime fighter should have in his or her library. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Anabasis by Xenophon. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. The Complete Works of Friedrich Nietzsche by Friedrich Nietzsche. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. The Enchiridion by Epictetus. Handgun Stopping Power by Evan Marshall and Edwin J. Sainow. Homicide by David Simon. Where Death Delights by Milton Halpern. Next time, we conclude the rest of Chapter 1 and continue to Chapter 2. Well, not exactly next time, because next time I'll be posting a read-through of the introduction and first part of the first chapter of the Superman Handbook. But the next time we come back to this is what I'm talking about. Anyway, another thing I should mention, do not take anything for granted. Always check resources out for yourself. Get as close to the source as possible. And if you don't have enough evidence or information, go with what seems like the most logical answer. This is Anyman reminding you that you have the power. Use it wisely and use it well.